Yes, I'm that desperate for watch time. Let's get this started. Guys, what is going on, 𝗕𝗏𝗀𝗀𝗻𝒋𝒻𝒪stics Nation? How the heck are you? Thanks for tuning in. It's Justin. I don't say my name enough. I have a name. Thanks for asking. Anyway, guys, today's video is going to be about pushing, but we're going to bring back the topic today. So what we're going to do is I have a list of the 10 biggest calisthenics mistakes that I did when I started. So I'm gonna go take you guys through my workout today. Handstand push-up, 90-degree push-up, all the pushing stuff you guys are used to, weighted calisthenics, and I'm just gonna walk through all of the mistakes that I've done and kind of apply it to the workout, because I've been at this since about 2010, on and off. Like the first 4 years is mostly gymnastics, 2015 and beyond mostly calisthenics. Things were good, things were bad. I had focus, I lost focus, I broke bones, I had to get MRIs. So all in all, it's been a good journey. I've learned a lot. I think you guys are really gonna like this video, especially for the calisthenics beginners. I made a lot of very stupid mistakes, and it would have shaved off years of exploration and testing. You guys can cut off a lot of that learning time and get to your goals quicker. So that's gonna be it for the introduction. If you guys like content like this, smack that subscribe button. New course giveaways every Monday. We had our first giveaway yesterday. Let's get started with the workout and the top 10 mistakes that I made on my calisthenics journey. Let's do it. Alright guys, then one cool thing I'm doing today is I'm literally writing down every single thing that I did. I'm on page 2, so I've been working for about 6 hours now, just hitting the gym, but basically every single action I took today, I made a note of it. So what I'm trying to do is kind of like consolidate everything I'm doing. I'm trying to streamline how I operate, because if I can figure this stuff out, like, I'm gonna have a lot more time, and especially just looking at it like this, there's so much slop in it. Like, I can definitely bring my efficiency up, so if I get on a better schedule, I'll be able to make more content, make better content, do more things, make more money, all these sort of cool things. So something for you guys to consider as well. Write everything down, standardize, consolidate, and come up with a better schedule. Now for real this time, let's get started. So the first big mistake I made when I started calisthenics was not taking flexibility and mobility seriously. If you guys look at my handstand right now, it's pretty damn good. I get a lot of compliments on my handstand, but it always wasn't like this. I used to have one of those banana back handstands, and that took probably months of work. It really wasn't that difficult. I just started focusing on mobility. I was doing bridge, I was doing the inverted wall stretch, and then all of a sudden my handstand got a whole lot better. So if you guys don't have great handstand mobility, I'll be honest, this entire thing, calisthenics, is just going to be difficult. In addition to that, lower body flexibility is also essential, because if you have more flexibility, more mobility, everything becomes easier and it looks that much better. Handstand pressing, 90-degree push-up, straddle planche, straddle front lever, all these things rely on flexibility and mobility. Now if you're not training flexibility and mobility once to twice per week, you're going to be leaving a lot of easy gains on the table. They are yours for the taking, and what I'd recommend is stretching 1 to 2 times per week to make handstand pressing, your handstand, everything look a little better and everything be that much easier. Now one final piece on flexibility and mobility, if you guys have nice loose wrists as well, you're not going to be prone to getting tendonitis in your wrists. That is what keeps people out of the gym, because they can't get on their handstands, they can't do push-ups, handstand push-ups, things like that, and that means that you're not being as effective as possible. So again, that is another reason why you want to be focusing on mobility, because you can stay on top of your training and avoid injury. Alright guys, second big mistake was coming in here without a plan, without a program, and without any structure. Because what I used to do, I came in here and it was a free-for-all. It was the dumbest kind of workouts I ever did. I would like base the workouts on what level the rings were at. So I would do all my high ring exercises, all my middle ring exercises, then my low ring exercises, and I would just do whatever. That's before I got into push-pull legs, before I got into all the optimization stuff. I talked about this before on the show. Ha, the show. I love that. I've talked about this before, but push-pull works, straight arm, bent arm, it all kind of works for you. You want to have something you can stick to, be consistent with, and track every single day. Like literally multiple notebooks of just notes. This is what I did. This is how it works. This is how I felt. So you need to get something you can stick to, something you can measure, and something you can continually improve on every single week. That's what the structure is there for. All right, let's keep going. All right, third biggest mistake was not training any skills. I would come in here and I would do volume. I would do pull-ups, I would do push-ups, I would do burpees, I would do sit-ups for an hour. It was very boring and also kind of got me nowhere. So this is very common in calisthenics beginners. They come in here, they do push-ups, some push-up variations, pull-ups, pull-up variations, and they do this like 6 times a week. I don't recommend it at all. I recommend advanced calisthenics skill training just because it's so optimized. Like I made an Instagram post yesterday, so throw me a follow if you haven't. But basically it talked about efficiency. One arm chin up is gonna equal 20 pull-ups, but 20 pull-ups is never gonna equal one arm chin up. That is why training for advanced calisthenics skills is superior. So for those beginners out there, start getting on the skill wagon because in my opinion, and almost scientifically proven, it's better to train advanced calisthenics skills that are heavy, that are complex, and that are hard. That stuff's better than volume any day of the week, all right? All right, and the fourth point, I'm just gonna get this one out of the way now, is not training grip strength, okay? Grip strength is very essential in calisthenics, and I did not train it. If you guys are interested in training your grip strength, I recommend a 2-arm hang, 1-arm hang for time, building up to the 30-second 1-arm hang. That is your ultimate goal, and if you guys are beginners out there, it's gonna help your pull-ups, gonna help your front lever, gonna help just everything in general, like your ring strength too. You can hold on to things that much easier when you have better grip strength. So, if I could go back in time, starting like 9 years ago, I would be focusing on my grip as one of the first things to improve on. It's very easy to train to and your body gets good at it quick. If you guys are interested, full video right here. Full video on that grip. So point number 5 is not breaking down these skills into smaller components, okay? So every single calisthenics skill is gonna have like 3 or 4 different components to it. Handstand push-ups. You need a good handstand, you need to be strong, and you have to have the balance and the technique down. See, before all this stuff, I would freak out. I'd be like, oh my God, a handstand push-up's the hardest thing in the world. But when you really think about it, it's these 4 things, and all of a sudden, it becomes a lot less scary. You're not breaking down this big giant mountain. You have 4 tiny things to get over. That's pretty much it. That's the same thing with all the calisthenics too. 1-arm chin up. It's grip, it's pulling strength, and there's technique to it, okay? There are a lot of other things too, so handstand press, flexibility, balance, having a good handstand. Don't look at it like this big giant mountain. Break it down into smaller, more consumable pieces. Because if you guys are interested in handstand push-ups, there's a chance you're strong enough. There's a chance you have good enough balance. You just have to either get the technique, you have to get the strength. There are like different components to it, and work on what you suck. All of a sudden, everything in calisthenics becomes that much easier. All right? That's a really good one. Write that one down. You guys owe me a subscribe for that one. Point number 5, dynamite. So point number 6 is not understanding the reason, the purpose, the why behind what you do. So right here, I'm training parallel handstand push-ups because eventually I want the parallel 90-degree push-up where I'm flat on the ground. This is still building the strength, it's building the balance, and again, revisiting the whole component topic. It's the same thing that I'm training here. Everything that I do has a reason, and this right here is to strengthen my pushing and improve my balance on the parallettes. So when I started, I was like blindly following like YouTubers, I was randomly doing guides, and I felt like I was at a point where I was following so much random advice, I didn't even like think about why I was doing the work. I was more focused on doing the work that they were telling me, as opposed to me understanding the work that I was doing, understanding my body towards getting a result. So that's a big thing, guys, is when you're starting out, don't just blindly follow people. Unless you're following me, you can follow me as much as you want. But seriously, understand the concept, the reason why you're doing something, because you need to set a goal for yourself. For me, 90-degree push-up. For you, maybe holding a handstand, maybe getting a handstand push-up. Break it down and understand the different work that's gonna get you there. Make sure the work that you do is valuable, okay? Don't just do a bunch of other stupid work like push-ups, pull-ups for hours at a time, because that's not gonna really get you anywhere. You need to focus on your weaknesses, you need to have a purpose, and you need to be understanding why you're doing what you're doing, all right? If you have any questions on that, let me know. Guys, even things like abs, it has a purpose to it. When you think about doing abs at the end of a workout, things like that, it carries over to your handstand. Better abs is better handstand. Everything has a purpose. Just figure out what you want, figure out your goal, and work backwards from there. Point number 7 is not applying progressive overload. It's called progressive overload because over time, if you're incrementally increasing the loading, your body is gonna have a strength adaptation, and all of a sudden the loading that you're experiencing is gonna be becoming easier. So this is exactly why I'm gonna be making this more difficult every single week. Exactly why you need progressions for calisthenic skills. And for weighted training, so weighted calisthenics or weightlifting, it's the same concept. Every few weeks, you increase the loading, you go up in weight, so your muscles grow, your body gets stronger. That's the entire purpose of doing this stuff. We're doing this to get stronger, to move closer to our goals. Progressive overload is a methodical approach to getting you from where you are currently to where you want to go. Alright guys, so point number 8 is going to be an awesome one. Weighted calisthenics. I'm going to be hitting some weighted dip. The reason why weighted calisthenics are absolutely awesome is because there's a lot of carryover if you're a former athlete, former weightlifter. If you're just like a bench press guy, you want to start doing calisthenics, if you start hitting weighted pull-up, weighted dip, your calisthenics career is going to like go skyrocketing. By doing a weighted dip, you're going to be able to translate that over to handstand push-up, weighted pull-up that's going to get you the one-arm chin-up and the front lever. So for me, I personally love it, and it's one of those things I regret doing. I didn't do it for like 2 or 3 years. Again, if I could go back knowing what I know now, I'd probably start weighted calisthenics for like 6 months just to get my foundation in strength, get my foundation in functional movement, just because they're awesome and they get you nice and big in the process, because that's what we're about, guys. All right, we want to look good. I kind of like looking good. But anyway, just to elaborate on that, if you guys are calisthenics beginners or interested in getting started, again, weighted dip, weighted pull-up is going to take you a very, very long way. And then for you veterans out there, what I personally do is I do my real skill training on the rings, as you guys know, and then towards the end of the workout, that's when I like to switch it over to weighted calisthenics for the added benefit, the muscle growth, the heavy stimulation, and it just feels good, guys. It just straight up feels good. And then one final thought on this, I do prefer doing real, like weighted functional training for calisthenics rather than doing machines. I think machines are really good. They're damn good at building like muscle and toning and things like that, but I'm shooting for functionality. Most of the people on this channel shooting for functionality, which is why I'd recommend doing something like this as opposed to machines. All right, now let's hit a 5x5 at 90 pounds. So gross. Hold on, here we go. Alright, now we're ready. intentionally under rest. It's been like 1:15. I'm just gonna make this miserable for myself. Yeah! Yeah! Woo! Alright guys, point number 9 is overtraining and overworking yourself. Realistically, when you guys are doing these sort of workouts, you only need to do 4 of them a week, okay? Now, there was a period in my life where I was training 6 days a week, if not 7, and like they were really insane. I was doing like planches every single day. I was doing weighted stuff every single day. I mean, I literally overtrained. I can make a separate video on that, but I couldn't sleep, and certain body parts weren't working that well because I was just in the gym crushing it. The thing is, it's like I started getting good at this stuff when I started doing less work, okay? Now it's kind of counterintuitive. So what I'd recommend is actually resting more, because a lot of people starting out calisthenics, they do the volume training every single day. I don't know, I feel like in my opinion you're gonna get tendonitis, you're not really gonna get anywhere that quick because your body adapts when you rest, not when you train. Because when you're training, we're actually breaking down our bodies, we're beating them up. But the thing is, when you rest, when you recover, when you get the protein, when you sleep, that is where your strength adaptations set in. Especially when your workouts are very, very effective, when they're heavy, when they're difficult, you're gonna want more rest, guys. So that was one of my big mistakes. I spent like 3 months overtraining and it was really bad. So I wouldn't recommend that at all. Number 10, the biggest mistake that I made in calisthenics. This one's gonna be a little bit personal, but not really. I think it'll help you guys out a little bit. Number 10, my biggest mistake was not believing in myself enough. Whether that's doing something like the one-arm chin-up, the iron cross, the back lever, learning tumbling, learning tricks. For some reason, my first inclination when I want something new is I say that I can't do that. Like, for some reason, I think it's impossible in my mind. For the longest time, I was always thinking like, oh my god, the one-arm chin-up, it's like way too far out, like I'm never gonna be able to get it. Or like the double full, oh, I'm never gonna be able to get it. Guys, you can get whatever you want, okay? Like literally the only person that's holding you back from what you wanna do is yourself, okay? It's the same thing for me. Like seriously, last week I got the one-arm chin-up, I never thought that it was gonna happen. In my mind, I told myself, I'm gonna do this and nothing's gonna hold me back, right? Because we need to break down these stupid barriers. It's called like self-defeating personality disorder, and if you guys suffer from that, just like break through that shit, okay? Because nothing is gonna stop you. The only person that's gonna stop you is yourself, okay? So I think moral of the story here is just be way more confident with whatever you're doing, because if you put the right work in, you're gonna get the result. Don't let like a little mental thing hold you back from that. Don't let haters talk you out of something. Don't let other people tell you you can't, because at the end of the day, if you put the work in, you can pretty much make literally anything happen. So that's kind of what I wanted to say. What I actually wrote down was I never believed in myself as much as I should have, and I think just like me being more confident in myself and my abilities, I probably could have been further along this journey just by believing in myself a little bit more. Because for a while I'd be like, oh no, I gotta train another month to get that. No, you don't. Honestly, no, you don't. If you feel like you can do something, just do it. Seriously, nothing will hold you back, all right? Nothing's gonna hold you back. Let's wrap her up. That's gonna be it for this video. If you guys like calisthenics content, motivational stuff, whatever I do and upload on this channel, hit subscribe. New videos all the time. I'm enjoying this channel. This is growing. You guys are awesome. Thank you so much for tuning in. That's gonna be it. Subscribe. As I mentioned, new courses every single Monday. And that's gonna be it. See you in the next video.